magnitudes, intensity, epicenter, fault lines. These are some of the words that we hear on news every now and then when a certain place experiences shaking or trembling of the ground. Today, we are going to learn about one of the Earth's internal processes, earthquake. What is an earthquake? An earthquake is a sudden and violent shaking of the ground, sometimes causing great destructions as a result of movement within the Earth's crust or volcanic actions. It is a natural geologic phenomena caused by sudden and rapid movement of large volume of rocks. To explain how an earthquake happens, let us take a look at the surface of the Earth. The surface of the Earth is divided into puzzle-like pieces of the crust and the upper mantle called tectonic plates. These tectonic plates are constantly moving. However, majority of these movements cannot be felt. When two tectonic plates bump or slide against each other, an earthquake is produced.
Faults are usually the starting sites of earthquakes. Faults are slips or cracks in the Earth's crust. When a rock underground suddenly breaks along a fault, there is a sudden release of energy in the form of seismic waves that makes the ground shake. Strong earthquakes are usually followed by numerous tremors called the aftershocks. In contrast to these aftershocks, small earthquakes called foreshocks usually precede a major earthquake by days. There are also Faults are usually the starting sites of earthquakes. Faults are slips or cracks in the Earth's crust. When a rock underground suddenly breaks along a fault, there is sudden release of energy in the form of seismic waves that makes the ground shake. Strong earthquakes are usually followed by numerous tremors called the aftershocks. In contrast to these aftershocks, small earthquakes called foreshocks usually precede a major earthquake by days. There are also some other causes of earthquakes aside from tectonic movements. Volcanic activities can also trigger movements within the Earth, causing small earthquakes. Human activities such as conducting nuclear tests can also produce what we call man-made earthquakes. But most of the destructive ones are usually caused by plate tectonics. Averaging 1,000 times a day worldwide, earthquakes happen but we can feel most of it because the energy given off by the quake is too small and can only be detected by sensitive instruments such as the seismographs. This energy released by the earthquake is called the magnitude and can be measured using the Richter scale. On the other hand, intensity refers to the destruction caused by the earthquake and can be measured using the Mercalli scale. The point where the earthquake originated is called the focus, and the point on the ground that is directly above the focus is called the epicenter. These are the terms that we usually hear on the news when an earthquake happens at a certain place.
Most earthquakes occur along the edges of the oceanic and continental plates where there is usually an active transform fault. Some of the earthquake-prone countries are Indonesia, Turkey, Mexico, El Salvador, Pakistan, Ecuador, India, Nepal, Japan, and even our own country, the Philippines. We've seen a lot of big earthquakes in the news, the recent one in Batangas and Manila. With the volume of the population in Metro Manila of 12.8 million, can you imagine the effects and consequences of the so-called the big one, which has been talked about for some time as the most destructive earthquake that will hit Manila? According to Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS, the Valley Fault System showed that the big quake will pass through the dense Metro Manila area and can shake the neighboring provinces. PHIVOLCS also said that NCR will face isolation from nearby provinces because of collapsed roads and buildings. The fault system from north to south and east to west will get the greatest threat. Collapsed buildings in Makati and Mandaluyong cities may separate northern and southern parts of the metro, while broken road networks will isolate the west and the east, just like what happened in 1990 at Baguio.
According to Jerry Velasquez of United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction, the potential quake is not a prediction over a specified time, but for sure, it will happen. No one knows when. According to some reports, it's even described as long overdue. The valley fault system moved 4 times in the last 1,400 years. On the estimate, every 400 years, and the last time was about 356 years ago in 1658. At the moment, the government must prepare the resistance of all pending constructions to earthquakes and strengthen the existing ones. Earthquake and tsunami drills must be conducted in all cities. The potential quake is foreseen to destroy bridges, buildings, roads, houses, cars, and much more. Possible deaths to 37,000 people and may hurt as many as 110,000 individuals. All we need to do is to plan and get ready. All we can do generally is to prepare ourselves. PHIVOX warned the residents of Metro Manila to be well prepared because the powerful earthquake could kill about 34,000 people and injure 100,000 people. The Big One earthquake is expected to shake the area, approximately 3 to 4 years from now. The government agency also warned the public that residents built their home 5 meters away from the fault line should vacate their homes for their own safety. PHIVOX Director Renato Solidum also said that PHIVOX Director Renato Solidum also said that almost 40% of the residential structures will be heavily damaged by the quake.